I've been fucking about with this for way too long. So I'm just gonna do a quick rundown with mediocre explanation on why the games are on the list. And here are the rules for the list. Yes, I'm that lazy. So without further ado, let's get started! Number 10, Splinter Cell Blacklist. The stealth is fantastic, but the story is pretty forgettable, and although the music is fitting, it's also forgettable, but the stealth is fantastic! Number 9, Tearaway. It's so unique and pretty! Also, it has one of the most immersive stories in gaming, so buy a Vita right now, chums! Also, buy a Wii U! I'm weak. Yes, at number 8 is GTA 5 and Super Mario 3D World. You see, I couldn't pick one over the other, so I decided to use the put two games in the same number and say that it's my list card. And if you don't like that, it's my fucking list! Anyway, GTA 5 is a fantastic game with a few flaws that I'm not gonna get into right now, but I will say that Franklin is by far one, if not the most, blandest character of all time. Except that the world is great. Even though this is my favorite place in the GTA universe. And well, a lot of stuff in this game is great! And you should play it. Now let's take a look at the other game on the 8th spot. Cat Peach Hentai 3D. I mean Super Mario 3D World. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, 3D World is great, except for a few things. The catsuit is overrated, and never ever play this game alone. Ever! Cause then the game will become mediocre, and you don't want that to happen. Do we? So the final verdict is, get some friends or get stuck playing an average game with a soundtrack that reminds me so much about things from the 90s, it's almost scary. Number 7, Tomb Raider. I've always liked the idea of the series, but never liked the execution of it, until this game came around and made me into a Tomb Raider fan. The only thing I don't like about the game is how they handle the story at some places. Which I found out later that it was called ludonarrative dissonance. And yes, I only did that so I could show off how intelligent I am. Number 6, Wind Waker HD. Man, is this game pretty! And it's also a ton of fun to play. The dungeons are awesome, the combat is awesome, the puzzles aren't too hard. And exploring the exotic islands gives you this adventure feeling. Plus, the sailing is by far the best part of the game. I love it. It's just so relaxing and exciting to see the weather change right before your eyes. The waves getting higher or lower depending on the weather, and it's awesome. So, stop yapping about your PS4 and your Xbox One and get yourself a Wii U and play some fantastic next-gen games. Even though this is a remake of the GameCube version. Huh. Also, the gamepad works fantastic with the game and makes everything more fluid and immersive. Okay, I'm done now. Let's move on to number 5. Man, I love this game. You see, in 2013 I started getting interest for anime, so when I saw the trailer for this game, I knew I just had to get it. Plus, you know, I needed some games for my Vita at the time, so when I picked up the game, I loved it. Everything from the story, to the characters, to the music, to the animated cutscenes, to the voice acting. I mean, I couldn't possibly sum up everything I love about this game. But if there's one thing I didn't like about the game, it was the dungeons. They were way too long, so it would have been nice to have shorter dungeons. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some previous installments to play. I don't care what anyone says, this is my favorite Batman game of all time. There! I said it! Now that the controversy has been sparked, let me tell you why this is. Well, let's see. Troy Baker as the Joker. This, my lovely viewers, is by far my favorite Joker voice in the series. Yes, even greater than Mark Skywalker Hamill himself. And I also love the Christmas Eve setting of the game, cause I got this game on Christmas morning, and boy did the atmosphere of the game get me into one hell of a Christmas mood. Now, here are the other reasons why this is my favorite Batman game of all time. Batman himself and his suit, just look at it! The villains, the main theme, the shock gloves, the boss fights, the story, and the fucking cutscenes in the game is by far some of the best cutscenes I've ever seen in a video game, period.
I understand you.
There are probably other reasons too, but these are the main ones. So let's end this entry with...
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Number 3, Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus. Now, after two, let's say, unorthodox Ratchet & Clank games, Insomniac decided to go back and make an old school Ratchet & Clank game. And boy did they succeed. I love everything about this game. Except one thing, but I'll get into that later. Now, this game oozes old school Ratchet & Clank. The controls are very tight, the gameplay is better than ever, and the levels, I mean, just look at them! And when it comes to the story, Insomniac has created my favorite villain in the entire series. Vendra. Yeah, even though I like Nefarious, he never was my favorite villain in the series.
Haters gonna hate, I laugh cause you fake. Lawyer mad cause I do something that you can't. Double tap again, going back to the bank. Go and hate all you want, know I'm something that you ain't. Haters gonna hate, I laugh cause you fake. Lawyer mad cause
So what is there left to talk about? Oh, silly me, let's talk about the weapons. Yes, the weapons are back and better than ever, with my favorites being the Winterizer, the Nether Beast, the Zircons, and of course the Warmonger. Even though they are all useful and the upgrade system has been perfected in my humble opinion. And when that's being said, the level cap for the weapons is perfect! And my favorite level cap in the entire series. I also like the use of the hover pack in the game, but the one big downside with the game is sadly its length. And that's about it when it comes to the downsides of this game. But I really hope we get a new and longer Ratchet game in the future. And one more thing. Raise your hand if you want a Ratchet & Clank racing game. The possibilities are endless. Number 2. Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time. Do I even need to explain myself here? The Sly series has been a major part in my childhood, and it hosts not only my favorite game of all time in it, it also hosts my favorite video game character of all time in it. So you can probably guess that when I saw the announcement for this game at E3 2011, my jaw dropped so hard I cracked the table my jaw hit. So anyway, this game takes place a couple years after Sly 3 ended, and we get a nice little backstory at the beginning of the game that tells us what the gang has been up to for the last couple of years, and why the gang has to travel back in time in the first place. The story is epic, and the animated cutscenes feel like a natural evolution from the semi-animated cutscenes from the older games. The game looks gorgeous, and the in-game cutscenes has gotten a lot more fluid and smoother from the old games where they were pretty stiff. Also, the voice acting is superb, and is executed with perfection. The gameplay is also solid with the inclusion of the costumes, which now has special abilities. My only gripe with the costumes is that I wish they had more abilities and different attacks. The missions are also very varied and fun to play, but I wish Bentley, Murray, Carmelita, and the Ancestors could have gotten some more screen time. The music in the game is excellent and is by far my favorite soundtrack in the series. The locations is pretty cool too, even though I would have liked the hub worlds to have had more variation in them. But now I'm starting to nitpick, so let's wrap this entry up. But before I do that, let me tell you about my biggest complaint about this game. And that's also the reason the game isn't on the #1 spot. The ending. There you have it, folks. I'm sorry I spent so much time on this entry, but since this is one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time, I wanted to go a little in depth on it. Anyway, let's move on to #1. So, 2013 was a great year for gaming. We got some great sequels, reboots, HD ports of old classics, and just some great and unique games in general. But this year has also conquered something that we would look on with dread and hatred in the old days. Escort missions.
Leon!
And you probably know which candidates that have the chance already. But, you know what? It isn't fucking The Last of Us! Yes, at number 1 we have BioShock Infinite. So why do I love BioShock Infinite as much as I do? Well, the story is amazing and kept me hooked from start to finish. Plus, I really like the lore surrounding this game and it makes you think about it long after it's over. The gameplay is fantastic and gives you tons of options during combat on how you want to dispose of your enemies. And I always liked getting things from Elizabeth when I needed them. And whenever we were in a firefight, it didn't feel like I had her back. It felt like we had each other's backs. And also, the skylines rocked! The enemies were cool too, and I really liked the fireman, the handyman, and a certain other enemy / character. Also, the sound design and music were fantastic. The graphics were just beautiful. But if there's one thing I don't really like about the game, it's the airship battle at the end of the game. It was just a major letdown in my opinion. So there you have it. Oh! I forgot one thing. Have you guys seen the similarities this game has to the last level of Sly 2? Just look, Columbia's a little like Arpeggio's airship, and then we have these scallywags over here. But it's just a theory. A game theory. Now wait a minute. I gotta have my outro thingy before you guys can end the video. Jeez, you guys are in a hurry. Anyway, welcome to the end segment of this video, I guess. So, yeah, that was top 10 games of 2013. And it came out March 21st. I'm a little late. Yes, I'm sorry, but between losing the entire project and having to start it over again, it was a little demotivating. Plus, I was lazy, I've had some work to do, so yeah, I'm making excuses now, I know. But I wanted to thank the Fiery Joker for the clip where Ashley says Leon, and then gets shot. I got it from his top 10 overrated games. I'll put his channel link in the description. So that's that. So I, giving thanks for letting me lend that part of the video without asking him. Hopefully it won't kill me, but we'll see. So that was that. So my question to you guys, did you guys like the video? And if you did, then that's good for you. And if you disagreed with some of the entries on this list, then make your own top 10 or better, and send it to me, or tell me your favorite games of 2013 in the comments, because I would love to watch. And especially after that The Last of Us thingy, because I honestly don't know what's so great about that game. Honestly, when I played it like 2 weeks after it came out too. I bought it. Me and one of my friends bought it together, and when I played it, I never really connected with the characters at all, and I don't know, I never found Ellie to be all that interesting. She always felt like she was, just tagging along and never, like, she never was a part of any of this. It was just, sometimes that I saw her throw a brick at someone or something, and I don't know, she really got distracting. Also under those stealth segments, stealth. Okay, I'm trying to be sarcastic here. I didn't find the stealth in the game to be good at all. It was terrible. I got detected for the stupidest shit. And I know I'm going on a rant about The Last of Us at the end of this video. I'm sorry, but there was this one part that really just took me out of the immersion, because I was in the game. I felt like I was in the game world for a while there. But there is this segment where you're in a hotel or something, and you're supposed to kill all the people in there before you can continue to the next area. Well, I took out some of the people and then got to the door that you're supposed to go in, and then all the enemies in the room immediately started yelling at me and just knew instantly where I was. And besides you, to get to the door, you had to go up a staircase. So I just stood in the staircase with a shotgun and blasted those guys who ran up, and it really took the immersion out of me and killed it for me. I'm sorry, but I'll always look at this game as a mediocre game, or not mediocre. It was good, but I never really connected with anything of it. So yeah, that's that. Hang me if you want to, but Bioshock Infinite, wonderful. But I've been rambling about this for long enough, so my question to you, again, I have another question. What kind of... do you have anything you want me to make a top 10 out of next? If you have an idea, just post it in the comments. Also, I would like to get some constructive criticism about what I can improve on, or what you guys thought were good and I should keep in my videos, because, you know, it helps me a lot with this top 10 format. I'm trying to experiment a little bit with it. Like, this video was shorter and faster than my top 10 Mario power-ups, and, you know, I'm trying to play with the format a little, try to figure out what fits me. So, and you guys can help me find that path. So, if you have some constructive criticism, I'd be honored if you'd share it with me. So, I guess, until next time, I'll see ya.